get into downtown Paris, and it is with that storm that is right on top of Sadieville, and that is rolling its way toward the south and southeast. And I want to zoom in on this storm as well, because I want to go ahead and take a look inside this like we were doing with the Rowan County storm, just to see if we can find a little bit of rotation, because you know what, these storms, and especially kind of getting my attention here to the northeast of Paris. So that is a storm that does not have a warning on it as of right now, but there's a hint of some spin on that, maybe just a hint of a little spin coming out of the Sadieville area. But again, that is a severe thunderstorm warning, and that is likely producing large hail as it continues to work its way toward the southeast with that severe thunderstorm that'll take aim at downtown Paris coming up here very shortly. So that is a new warning that is out, but that is not a tornado warning. That is a severe thunderstorm warning, and I want to see if we've tagged that as a TOR possible. That is not at the moment. Let's get an update out of eastern Kentucky and see what we can find on social media. So far, so good in terms of no reports. We did have that damage report that was coming out of the I-64 corridor there just to the east of Moorhead. That was a little bit ago, with the severe thunderstorm and potential tornado that is out for eastern parts of Rowan County. So we're on the air just until that tornado warning is canceled or expires. But again, this line is going to continue to drop from northwest to southeast, and it's going to continue to do so very quickly. That is zipping its way on through. So the two storms that we're watching right now, you've got your tornado warning that is out for a small piece of real estate here to the east of downtown Moorhead. That is for Rowan County. That is for Elliott County. And that newly issued severe thunderstorm warning that is also out for sections of Bourbon, Harrison, and Scott counties. That storm that is into eastern Rowan County is just about to get out of the area. That will be over into Carter County, which is technically, even though some folks get our signal over there, that is technically just outside of our immediate coverage area. So storm report, trees down and debris visible from I-64 in Rowan County near the Cranston area. That is at mile marker 143. So visible damage now being reported from Interstate 64 near Cranston into eastern parts of Rowan County with this potential tornadic storm that is working its way across Rowan County, and that is heading again towards Sandy Hook into Elliott County. So we're going to look inside this storm, and it has still got just a little bit of some rotation that is showing up. It may not be as pronounced as what we were seeing earlier, but we can go in on this because you can see how the majority of that rotation now is hugging the Carter and Rowan County line. This is downtown Moorhead. Moorhead, we are actually in pretty good shape in terms of this particular storm that is off to our east right now and will continue to make its way through the region. But that tornado warning that is out into eastern parts of Rowan County. So we had damage that was visible from Cranston or near Cranston along Interstate 64. Well, there's Cranston. We talked about this right off the bat, how we had that rotation that was showing up very close to I-64 here into the Cranston area. So I-64 damage and debris, trees down and debris being reported with this storm just to the east of Cranston in Rowan County. That has now moved toward the south and southeast. And we've got our tornado warning for eastern Rowan County. Cranston, Hayes Crossing, we're okay now. That storm is just off to our east and southeast. The worst of this is on top of Elliottsville. Elliottsville, we've been giving you a heads up for some time that this storm is heading in your general direction. And boy, oh boy, there it is right on top of that particular area. I still want to go back and look at these storms that are getting in toward the Lexington metro. That's our severe thunderstorm warning that is out for part of Scott, Harrison, and Bourbon County. That's a hefty thunderstorm that is rolling its way on in. The storm just to the east of that is pretty intense as well. I'm surprised this one does not have a warning on it. You can see how we're kind of looking inside these storms. I don't see a tight bit of spin showing up on either one of those, but there is some broad rotation both to the west of Carlisle, and we're also looking just to the southeast is Sadieville, right on top of the Harrison-Bourbon County line coming out of Scott County. So we'll watch that storm as it makes a beeline towards sections of Paris coming up here very shortly. That is likely producing large hail. That has been a calling card of these thunderstorms. This may be producing hail that is up to golf ball size as it makes its way toward sections of the Connersville area, over toward Leesburg. That's right on 62 into southern parts of Harrison County, and then that'll head toward downtown Paris here coming up very shortly. So, hey, if you're in Paris right now, do me a favor. If you got a garage, get the car in it. This is a history of producing some big-time hail, and that storm that is on top of the Bourbon and Nicholas County line it looks like it could go severe at any moment as well. But our tornado warning does continue here into parts of Rowan County. That'll continue to roll its way toward the southeast, and I continue to zoom in on this storm because it's moving very, very quickly, and that's going to continue to make its way out of Rowan County into Elliott County coming up very, very shortly. That'll head towards Sandy Hook eventually coming up within the next 15 or 20 minutes or so. This storm is moving toward the southeast at right at 35 miles per hour. And as it continues to move toward the southeast, you can see some of the areas that it would be impacting. That would take it all the way toward Johnson County coming up within the next hour and change. So that's an indication of just how quickly this storm is moving. And you can see how if we just ask our radar, without me drawing the plot lines on there, if I just ask the radar to show me the strongest storm that is out there in central Kentucky, notice it is showing me the storm into Carlisle or just west of Carlisle, Nicholas County, Bourbon County line as being the stronger of the two, and that is technically not under a warning as of now. But we can put a track on that. And you notice how it changed just a little bit with that. But this will show this is likely a large hail producer heading toward Millersburg, Sharpsburg. Eventually, that holds together. Mount Sterling and Owingsville coming up in, a little more than a half hour or so from now. This is not the main line of thunderstorms, folks. That main line of thunderstorms are going to sweep in here very late this evening. New severe thunderstorm warning coming out in advance now. That tornado warning, that is a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning that gets into Elliott County and a part of Morgan County as well. You can see how it is blinking there. That's because that is a brand new warning. Elliott, Morgan, and Rowan until 3:15. So that's an extension of the warning, the tornado warning, and an indication that our tornado warning is likely going to be allowed to expire coming up here in just a couple of minutes. So that's a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued farther to the south from that. But this storm, again, that is heading toward Paris, got an update on that. Let me see what is being said about that. So the Scott County part of that severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled. That storm is now out of Sadieville. That is into southeastern parts of Harrison County, rolling toward Paris. But again, I'm very surprised this storm from Millersburg over to Carlisle does not have a warning with it. That is showing up on our radar as the stronger of the two cells. That may also be a large hail producer. But notice how quickly the storms weaken, and then all of a sudden there's nothing west of Frankfort. So that is a good thing for parts of the Bluegrass area. But farther to the east, those warnings that are out include that small piece of real estate still under a tornado warning across Rowan County, where, to recap, we did have damage apparently visible from motorists and a spotter there along Interstate 64 near Cranston into eastern Rowan County. That is where we had rotation. Now, is that from a tornado, or is that from straight line winds? That remains to be seen, but that debris was showing up right on top of the Interstate 64 near mile marker 143, which is into eastern parts of Rowan County. Potential tornado touching down in Rowan County over the past half hour or so. The rotation with that has slowed down just a little bit, and I continue to kind of peruse our chats with the National Weather Service. I'm going back and forth with Twitter just to see if you folks are showing me anything that is of significance. And right now, not seeing a whole heck of a lot. Well, I see a large or hail covering a deck into Nicholas County with that thunderstorm we were just talking about that is likely severe. Tornado warning does continue now for parts of Elliott and Rowan. Thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is very close to Sandy Hook, moving to the southeast at 35 miles an hour. So in just a few minutes, we should be able to clear that tornado warning out of Rowan County as that storm continues to make its way into parts of Elliott County. So just a small sliver of real estate left with that tornado warning. Sandy Hook, get the cars in the garage. Keep an eye on that storm. You're not under a tornado warning, but that tornado warning is off just to the northwest of us. That is set to expire in, 7-8 minutes from right now. We'll stay on the air as long as there is an active tornado warning, because you know what, folks, that is what we do. It's to keep you guys safe from any potential severe thunderstorms or damaging winds, or especially tornadoes. Tornadoes can spin up very, very quickly, and we'll give this one more attention now that we're getting damage reports from this storm into Rowan County from a possible tornado a little earlier. Let us investigate this storm again to see if that rotation has calmed down just a little bit. So now we're getting in on a little broader spin. Notice how we do not have a very tight spin. Notice how things are a little more strung out here. Those brighter greens, little brighter red, notice those are not right up against one another, which would be a signature for a more broad rotation. Now, if you were to get that bright red, that bright green right up against one another, that would be a healthy signature for a possible tornado. So we'll be on guard for those two trying to hook back up again, because these storms can sometimes, it's known as cycling, where they lose a little steam, they just relax a little bit to get organized, and then they fire right back up and get that tight rotation back. But so far, that is not happening. We'll investigate these storms that are heading toward out of Harrison County into Bourbon County as well. Remember, you folks are under a severe thunderstorm warning now, and that goes until 3 o'clock for Bourbon and Harrison counties, with that storm that is heading toward downtown Paris. Paris, boy, if you didn't get the cars in the garage over the past few minutes, it may be a little too late as the winds are beginning now to pick up. Rotation with this, it's fairly broad again, but there's some broad rotation with that. That's more than likely going to be producing large hail and maybe some winds gusting greater than 45 to 50 miles an hour as it makes its way into sections of central Kentucky. And I'm wondering if on our tower cam, if we can get kind of a good view of those storms. We're looking on that western skyline, and now as we look toward the north, notice how we kind of get part of our tower into the mix there, but we're looking to where those storms would be, and you kind of look through the tower, you can see how the skies are darkening there. We'll go more toward the east and southeast now. That's the Hamburg Pavilion area, but the majority of those storms are just off to the north and northeast of downtown Lexington and from where we are here on Winchester Road. There you go with the warning, severe thunderstorm warning, Bourbon and Harrison counties up until 3 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm warnings are out for Carter County, for Elliott County, Morgan County, and Rowan County. And you've got that small piece of real estate that continues with a tornado warning. And again, damage has been reported with this storm that is on top of southeastern parts of Rowan County. That may very well have been a quick spin up of a tornado right on top of Interstate 64. If you've driven through there, that would be between Moorhead and Olive Hill and just a mile or two inside the Rowan County line before you get to Carter County, near the community of Cranston. So damage was visible from a spotter that was on 64 there. So this could very well have been a tornado. That tornado warning is about to expire, coming up in a matter of minutes. And we'll look again at the storm to see the rotation, and we'll see what it looks like, because the rotation continues to broaden out. So that is good news when we kind of give that storm an MRI and just to see exactly how it is looking. You know, something else we can do that I know folks at home like to look at, this is a 3D view of our thunderstorms. So what we're doing here, we're asking the radar to say, okay, let's see how tall these storms are, and let's see which one is the strongest. So you see those dark or those deep reds in there, that's indicative of where the strongest part of the individual storms are. So you notice how those storms are all spiking way up into the atmosphere, and especially this storm that is on top of Sandy Hook. See how that is spiking up there? Boy, that's a tall thunderstorm, and the taller those thunderstorms go up into the atmosphere, the better the chance those can go severe in a hurry. And the taller they are, they're up into that really cold air, so you can get in on some large hail, and that's what we've been seeing. Notice how those storms that are on top of Moorhead back toward Owingsville, much smaller. Then all of a sudden we get an uptick again in the overall thunderstorm that is lifting up through the atmosphere out of Bourbon County and into parts of Nicholas County and into sections of the Harrison County area. And we can not only give you one view of that, we can take this and kind of give you a 3D image from the entire storm. We can give this storm the look over from any direction that we want to give it. And so we can give this storm a good look through. We can take you right into the heart of that storm. But again, we want to see those weakening, and that's what we're doing, at least for the time being, in terms of the rotation that is showing up. Tornado warning for Elliott County, Rowan County is expiring right now, so that is certainly some good news. We did have that damage report out of I-64 near Cranston. We'll keep an eye on that, but our tornado warning is expiring right now into Elliott County and Rowan County. Severe thunderstorm warning does continue into parts of the Bluegrass area for Bourbon County and Harrison County. We'll keep a very close eye on these storms. And again, folks, this is just the first line. The main line arrives with a big-time damaging wind threat coming up roughly between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. later tonight. And that could be a fairly widespread event with a line of thunderstorms that races through. Keep it right here on WKYT. And of course, if we get any additional warnings or we get any additional information, we'll be sure to break in immediately and keep you guys up to date. And more importantly, keep you safe.
Attention.